guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jill. If you are new here, I'm so happy you're here, and today we are starting step one of creating my new home library because we moved. As you can see from the shelves behind me, my husband so kindly took all of the books out of the boxes and moved all the boxes of books that weighed, I don't want to know how much, for us. And he did already set up his shelf over here. I will do a little gloss over when we do a shelf tour at the end of all of his books, and he very kindly put Fourth Wing closest to my shelves because we technically kind of share those copies, even though I gifted them to him, but we both read them. But today we are going to do the first evolution of the shelves in our new place, and then there will be a part 2 of this video where we set up the rest of the library, but the focus of the day is the shelves. I have absolutely no idea where anything is. I can tell what some things are by the edges, but we need to go through and pull everything off and then I guess go from there. I don't really know. I do know I want to set it up differently than how I had it before, but I have absolutely no plan, so we're gonna see what happens. I do have some shelf decor, but I don't know where that is either. I have no better plan than taking them all off and putting them on the floor and then sorting them into piles. Now that I have quite literally boxed myself in, and you can't even see the extent of the chaos that is happening in front of me. So I have these 2 shelves to fill. We also have this like cube shelf thing you can see the side of, which is kind of just extra storage, but I can put books over here if I need to. It has some like random books from my husband and like empty journals and stuff that I took off these shelves I already put over here, and then the books that I'm unhauling that I already sorted out, I'll show you those. These are all of the books that I'm going to be unhauling and either giving to friends, little free libraries, donating, all of that. Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I hate the pregnancy trope. I meant to ask for the other one, but I was gifted this. I did read it. I didn't like it. So we're gonna give it to a home where someone is going to appreciate her. I used to be such a thriller girl, so we have a couple thrillers, including The Hunting Wives, which I know they just made a show out of, but realistically, I'm just not going to read these, so I'm going to pass them along to someone who will. The Other Misses by Mary Kubica, The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave, and Hunting Wives by May Cobb. This is the book that's been on these shelves the longest, I think. There might be one other book that's been here longer, but I haven't read it, and I think I've had it for like 5 years, so, or from whenever it came out. Used to love thrillers in college. I don't really read them anymore. If I want that vibe, I prefer romantic suspense at this point. So I'm gonna pass these along to someone who's going to enjoy them. Christmas Charms by Terry Wilson. This is a Hallmark Christmas book. This is a small town Christmas romance from Hallmark Publishing. Didn't even know Hallmark made books, but I was gifted this last Christmas and it just wasn't for me, and I have a ton of other Christmas books to read this year, so I'm going to pass that along. And then somehow I ended up with 2 copies of From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, so I'm going to pass my second copy along to someone. I think a girl in one of my book clubs is taking that. And then Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I just am choosing not to read this after some recent things have come to light about her, so I'm going to put that in Free Little Library. I love these books. I just really try to align myself with things, and I don't support generative AI, so will not be reading that. Anyway, those are going over on one of the cubes of these shelves until I can make my way around town to some Free Little Libraries, some friends' houses, and get those out of my space. But moving on to all of the books I am keeping, I will insert a little clip of the reality of what I'm looking at right now, right here. That's the reality of what we're dealing with, and some other random things that are in this room, because this is the room where things have come to sit in the last week since we've moved in. So I think what I'm going to do is just start sorting them into piles that make sense. And I'm going to start over here. This is a Christmas book. I am going to put all of my Christmas books on a bottom shelf for now, and then around Christmas season I will rearrange, put them somewhere more focal. And I know this is part of a trilogy, but I have the other 2, but I don't know where they are. So I'm starting there. I think I'm going to pile them on the shelves, maybe. So the bottom's going to be Christmas books. I'm just going to do like paperback romances. My paperback romances were sorted by color at the last place. These are some of the more Christmas books. I genuinely don't know how I have so many Christmas books, and I also don't think I've read any of them. Maybe I read one, because I do own Love Light Farms, and I did read that. I'm debating Unhauling Yours Truly. Is that sacrilegious? And everyone loves this book. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to, so this is going to go in a maybe pile. I might be passing this along to someone else. There will 100% be a cowboy romance shelf, so that can go behind me. I like my cowboy romance shelf to be like right behind me in my videos because I do love cowboy romance recommendation videos. So Elsie Silver, Lila Sage, Jessica Peterson. Who else do I have in here? Plenty of other people. And also we're getting a new Elsie Silver, a new Lila Sage. Death Story by Maggie Gates is re-releasing traditionally. Going to have quite a few additions to the cowboy shelf. I have some books that were PR that I haven't read yet. I thought about sorting this by physical TBR versus books I've read, but I don't feel like shaming myself like that because I haven't read a lot of these books. The Love Hypothesis, a 5-star read for me this year. I love Allie Hazelwood this year. That's my romance. You can see a lot of it is kind of together by color, sort of, because I just took them right off the shelf and put them in boxes. The absolutely gorgeous new traditional cover for Cash by Jessica Peterson. I am so obsessed with this cover. It's so pretty. Going on the cowboy shelf. As is Holding the Reins. I think this is the only cowboy book that I own that I haven't read yet. Some Tessa Bailey. Another Tessa Bailey. I'm going to kind of just move all of my fantasy hardcovers over here. I am a paperback romance fantasy hardcover person, in case you couldn't tell. Mother Ringgold, we love her. More Elsie Silver. So many cowboy romances. The Windy City series is also going to get a special focal point, especially my special edition of Play Along, one of my favorite books of all time. So she can go here for now, without damaging anyone. They can go there for right now. I do have an Emily Henry stack somewhere, so some Emily Henry. The rest of the Crescent City books I have in hardcover, but I have the paperback Crescent City, so I'm going to put her with her sisters. Some more Tessa Bailey, Tara DeWitt, who I love. I have a stack of like recipe books, a Gilmore Girls coloring book, a photo book my dad made me, and my Taylor Swift Eras Tour book, which the Taylor Swift Eras Tour book normally faces out on a shelf. I don't know if that is going to continue with this shelf setup. We will see. Deep End, I adore. Some romances. This is an Emily Henry. Romances. This is a like really beautiful book set my sister got me. It's Little Women and then a book called Homebody, which I think is poems. I kind of want these to go on my desk, I think. More Tessa Bailey. Tessa Bailey needs a section at this rate, I think. Tessa Bailey Christmas book that honestly didn't love. So this is going to go in the maybe pile to pass along. Paperback romances for the paperback romance train wreck that we're going to have to go through. These guys are missing someone, so I'm going to put them to the side. This is Sierra Simone's Camelot series. This is a very much so 18 plus series, but I really love it. It's probably the spiciest series that I've ever loved, but I love it. So if you know me, no you don't, but if you don't know me and you want something really spicy trilogy, you should read these. Check your like warnings and all that though. The Striker by Unhauling. This is a thick girl. I believe this is soccer. I haven't read it yet. Yeah, Premier League. So this is going to be a football season read, I think. Should I sort by season when I think I'm gonna read them? That might be a lot. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Unhauling, Rose Bargain, going with her other friends that are fantasy hardcovers. The Measure, I hear, is an amazing book club book, so I might try to convince book club to make that a book. I have books 1, 3, and 4 of the Kings of Sin series by Anna Huang. Missing 2, missing 5. So we will see. Running out of room on this, kind of working further away from us. This is a TJR book, fantasy. Another Sierra Simone. This is Priest. I feel like she's really well known for this one. Night Circus should go fantasy. There's some collar. I love Ride With Me. Haven't read yet. I think I am. I think I'm going to make a priority TBR shelf. And then maybe a 5-star read shelf, which the X-Files, also a 5-star read. So I have to go. Ooh, I'm realizing the way I'm sitting. You can't see the matching shorts to this top from Aerie, but they're really cute, very comfortable. This is another PR book I haven't read yet. Tattletale I love, but I need her sister book, Whistleblower. So I think I need to start a romantic suspense book shelf, but that's the only romantic suspense book I think I own. But I love them. Okay. Definitely could have done a better job stacking these in a less precarious manner. Priest is gonna go on my like uber spicy scenario shelf. Okay. Kristen Hanna is gonna go in like my lip thick section. I'm missing a book. I need to find, I own another one of Carissa Broadbent's books, so I need to find that before those go on a shelf so they can go with them. I have quite a few like lit thick-esque books, so those are all gonna go together like they were in the last library. And Christina Lauren's Paradise Problem also lived with those because it's the same height, but this is totally not lit thick. This is like summer rom-com. And my hardcover, Emily Henry's. Okay. These are my Gilmore Girls books. This is Life Shorts Talk Fast by Anne Hood. This is a collection of essays about Gilmore Girls. And then I have I Told You This Already by Lauren Graham and The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. And I think I owned the other Lauren Graham book, but I think it's at my parents' house. So that always goes normally with my like more pop culture-y things. So with Eli Rallo's books and Bethany Joy Lenz's book, and then normally Taylor Swift. So it goes on that shelf. There are some things with the way I had them arranged before that I do want to keep, but not everything. I think I want to put my fantasy more towards the bottom. Christmas. This is our other spicy girl we were missing. Also Christmas. Fantasy. And more Christmas. Okay. I think that's the end of the Christmas books. They're just going to go down on a little bottom shelf all by themselves for right now. And then in December, November, we will make a little special Christmas shelf that is more visible to the world. Hardcover Emily Henry. The copy of Proof Good Enough that I'm actually keeping. Sparks the Everflame. I haven't read this yet. I've heard controversial things. Nightingale. I haven't read a single Kristen Hanna, but I do own 2, I think. Jennifer L. Armentrout. The indie cover of Dust Storm, which, like I mentioned, is being re-released. And then Rebel Witch. Oh, I thought we were done. We're not done. Okay, one more stack. Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless. Haven't read them. One day. I definitely should have done this better because I don't want to hurt my books. That was precarious. Okay, this needs attention. Oh, sorry. I own 3 Kristen Hannas. The Great Alone. Love in Other Words is a 5-star read for me. Before I Let Go is a priority. Let's start those stacks. Okay. 5-star read stack. Priority TBR. Got that. Okay. Let's rearrange this. My priority TBR is going to be things I want to read by Thanksgiving. Sure, let's go with that. So I want to read The Striker by Thanksgiving. I am intimidated by how long this is. Realistically, I don't think romance books should be this long. I'm going to read it anyway. That's not to say that this can't be a great book. However, I think a lot of romance books should be sub 400 pages. 577 pages. Woo! Okay. We're going to read her though. Okay. I think before Thanksgiving is a good measure of time. Tessa Bailey is going to need her own little section, I think. Terry DeWitt gets a stack like this because I think the spines are gorgeous. And I'm going to break my own rules because if things go together, I'm not going to separate them from their friends. Problematic Summer Romance is going to go Allie Hazelwood. Okay, Tessa Bailey, Allie Hazelwood. See, but Deep End is a 5-star read. This is where we run into problems, and so is Love Hypothesis. Problematic Summer Romance, I think I get 4.5, but still very good. And this is where we decide, do we keep our color coordination? I think we do. I think we do. I don't know if these just need like a special little spot, but I would love to have a 5-star read shelf, but at the same time, maybe I don't. I don't know. I'm trying to get better at, if I have a physical copy and I didn't love it, passing it along to someone else who will love it, like we talked about at the beginning. However, if it's a part of a series, and I like the series, I'm going to keep all of them. And I like to keep them together. Left of Forever, 5 stars. Adore her. Haven't read the other 2 books that I have from Terry DeWitt in physical copy, but they're not going to move to a TBR shelf because they need to be with their friends. Okay, this is also a PR book. And I'm pointing that out because I need them separated, or I need to know in my brain, because I have to film a TikTok of books that I added to my library. I think I need to read just for the summer, so this is going to be a priority, because if I don't love her, she can go to a friend with her sister, yours truly. What I did really like, Part of Your World. Love Part of Your World. I talk about Part of Your World all the time in my short form videos because I love them. The town really reminds me of Gilmore Girls, which I love. To my yellow books. So let's start our yellow book train. Those are our yellowy books. These kind of lived in the same shelf, the last lease. Greenish blue, and this is our purple. Okay. Tattletale, love her. She's a little bit of a funky size. Because I also really do care about that, like this. I don't even think that you can see. The like jaggedness of this, no, that's not going to work for me. So we're going to start from the bottom. Arrange my Christmas books real quick. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I genuinely don't care as much about what my bottom shelves look like because I don't really see them. So a lot of times I have at least one bottom shelf is just storage of like extra filming equipment because my home library is also my filming room because I film so many book videos. I will say I'm so excited to read this book this year. I bought it at the Bodice last year and it is signed. Let's see. It is signed. It's called Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark. I got this recommendation from Haley McIntosh. She used to be on YouTube, she's not anymore, but TikTok, podcast, Instagram, Substack. Love her. Didn't get to this last year. I think that I only read one Christmas book and I listened to a couple audio Christmas books. This is a trilogy that, let's see what order they go in. I think Nick and Noelle's is the first one. Oh, it's a different author. I was like, she wrote The Tourist Attraction. She didn't. She just recommends it in the back. So I think it goes in different Noelle's, There's Something Mary, and then Along Came Holly. Could be totally wrong. In my holiday video about books, we'll talk all about those. This is Precarious, right here. Do we want to move our fantasy friends towards the bottom? I think we kind of do, because the top 2 shelves are what you see in most of my videos, and historically, fantasy is on the very top shelves. And I think I want to move her. I kind of wish that these were shorter. Like I wish I could move this down and have another shelf on these because these are 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 shelf bookcases. I wish they were 6. IKEA makes 6 shelf bookcases. These are Target, and they were just what was easiest for me to get last year when I wanted to buy them and make a book room. Well, the first time we had a chance to make a book room. All right, let's sort. I love Ellie Hazelwood, and these are some other 5 stars. So these are going to go on a shelf together because I really love them. So that's a stack that's going to find its way on the same shelf. These are yellow books, and these are pink books. I think I enjoy my color coding of my romance books, so we're going to keep them. These are blue. And then we'll like rearrange this whole jagged situation because that's not going to work for me. So, rough edit to start. Pink and yellow. The Measure is not a romance book. At least I don't think so. But it's yellow. It's like very yellow. So, we're going to keep her with the other yellow books. Lithic also I think can go lower down because I don't talk about Lithic a lot. So they don't need to be invisible, even if they're gorgeous or lovely or 5 stars. They might be in the future, who knows? This is one of the only hardcover romance books I own, and she's quite tall, and she fits with the Litfic covers, like they're the same size. So I wonder if she'll fit with Emily Henry. Let's raise this up a little bit and actually arrange a shelf. Historically, cowboy romance goes right here on this second shelf. When I'm filming in this new spot, you normally see a lot of this right here, kind of in the center. So, is it boring if I keep cowboy romance in the same place? We can just like shift her over. Why don't we do that? Why don't we just shift her over so that way it's slightly different? Because this was like my 5-star favorite shelf, and I guess I kind of did inadvertently. But we're gonna start with Miss Elsie. These are gonna be kind of out of order. Where'd my other Lila books go? Okay. That's Lila. Paisley Hope and Cash. Standing on their own. Oh, here's a Lila. Okay. Got real worried that she lost her friends there for a minute. I'm not worried about the order right now. We'll arrange that in a second. We are going to be getting another book from like every single lady on this shelf pretty soon, so I am quite excited. I'm gonna fix this real quick. Done and Dusted, Swift and Saddled, Lost and Lassoed, Wild and Rainbow. All of my books are signed, I think. Let's see, is it signed? Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Wild and Wrangled is signed and personalized. I believe that Lost and Lassoed is also personalized and the other 2 are just signed. Ooh, spicy art that I forgot was in here. Lost and Lassoed, also signed and personalized. I went to the event for Lost and Lassoed, which is why that was personalized. Okay. Right, real quick. We had the spicy art that we can't put on the internet that came with the book. The other ones I think are just signed. I don't think they're personalized. Let's see. Because I think she was only personalizing 1 book at the event. Oh no! Swift and Saddled. Also personalized. Are they all personalized? She's not personalizing at her event in October. Personalized. So I might order from her pre-order, which is going to be the only way to get a personalized copy because all their cards are personalized. I don't know. Okay, let me scoot you closer. Lila. More Elsie. Let's see. Those 2 are just kind of standing on their own. These are totally out of order. I think those are actually correct though. And then I do have 2 copies of Wild Love. This might work for right now. Normally I have these arranged differently. Some are on their side, some are facing out, but we're going to have to do rearranging when I get new books. So, do we leave her facing like a traditional real bookshelf for right now? I have cowboy romance decor for this, but we might leave her for right now. I think like, let's call this my romance cowboy shelf, which is now truly only cowboy romance. These are not cowboys. These are small town, but they're Elsie Silver, so like they're cowboys. Okay. Should we put my favorites right under? Let's do it. Play Along is going to face out like this. I have little book stands that I have to find. She's pretty sturdy on her own actually though. And then these are the indie copies. I believe when this video goes up, they're out of print. but if they're not, you should go find them. See, this is where I'm like, I wish you could go on top, but you can't. Other favorites, The Love Hypothesis, Deep End, and then Problematic Summer Romance, who we love, but isn't technically 5 stars. Ooh, see, this is why I need my stands. Is gonna go with them because we keep their friends together. And some other 5-star reads, The X-Vows, Person Caller, and Love in Other Words. Go right there. See, I want these to be a little taller. They're not. Like here. This is where, okay, perfect. I was like, there's a little gap right here. You know who's coming out with a new book? Technically in March, like kind of far away, but not super far. Mrs. Tom 40. So, another book we go right here. Or stack on top because it is kind of a continuation of this current series that's already out. So sad when the city's over. That's our favorite shelf for right now. She's probably gonna get rearranged, but for right now, she can go right there. Unless we want to put Miss Tara DeWitt's on the shelf. Let's see if these can fit temporarily. Ooh. No, because she's curved and we're not going to damage our prized possession. So Tara, I think, is going to go over here. And space on a shelf is a good thing because that means we have room for more books. Miss Emily Henry, and I think Paradise Problem is going to go with Emily Henry because I think she's going to match the spine height. And I used to have them in publication order, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore because they were in like a lay down stack. So I'm just going to put them like this. For reference, I'm 5'2". I don't know how tall these shelves are. They're definitely not 6 foot, I don't think. I don't think this is an entire foot. Maybe I'm wrong. And then my Spicy Girls, admittedly, I do tend to put lower down so they're not like front and center on a video because I don't want people to call me out for them. So I think my Spicy Girls are gonna go on my lower shelf on this one. For right now, they're there and we love them, but I don't need every person on the internet that knows me to see them right away. Okay, Gorgeous Gorgeous. Maybe we'll do paperback litfic into hardcover litfic. So we'll kind of like surround them by hardcovers. Because Emily Henry is totally more women's fiction than like straight up romance to me. And like some of these kind of like border, like I don't think The Husbands is technically litfic, but it goes because of the height to me. And we have some gappage right there for something. See, but I hate the back-to-back, just standard spines. This is gonna get reevaluated probably sooner rather than later, but the goal for today is just to get set up. I might end up shifting these over here. I think I'm going to, because these are gonna be my most like 2 decorated shelves probably, so I don't want them right on top of each other. Play along front and center right there. And then I think I want to do my Tara stack right here. I'm very particular about symmetry of things. Like I don't want them to be too symmetrical, but I also don't want to forget pattern if we start one. I think we're going to make this my more priority TBR because I want the striker to go with the other Anna Huang books. I also want them to stop falling over. So, and for right now, yours truly is going to go with her sister. Also, no one talks about this because it's a spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled for this book, like, I'll pull this down when I'm done talking about it. This is an accidental pregnancy short book. No one tells you that. Hated it. Didn't hate the whole book. Hated that aspect of the book. There we go. Read this. Not worried about, I think read all of these actually, but everything I haven't read so far is priority on here. Maybe let's put Tessa with Tara. Sure. There we go. And I think that sometimes I have Left It Forever kind of stood up, but she's quite a narrow fit on this shelf, so I don't think so for right now. And now we're moving into fantasy because we're letting my miscellaneous romances sit for a moment maybe. Let's put Coastal with Coastal. Coastal Tessa Bailey. Coastal Tessa Fortune. Carly Fortune. Nora goes off script with Nora goes off script over here. So then should I do blue book? This is how things end up getting color coordinated because I'm like, well, there's a bunch of blue books. Might as well put the rest of them. These are my indie printed copies. So I believe they're the same height. They are. Okay. Let's do this then. Indie print, indie print. Then we'll start the blue train. This is greenish blue. That's okay. See, she matches hook, line, and sinker pretty well though. Everything's falling on me. And pinks and reds to lead us into Miss Terra DeWitt. Okay. I think I like that. It's not perfectly height symmetrical, but it's close enough, I think. This is, I think, like my only other purple book that's not in a series, so I'm gonna put some with the striker. I lied. Gloves Off by Stephanie Archer. Also purple. I think maybe she can go with our teal covers. Perfect. All of my sunshiny yellow books, even though not all of these are sunshine. This is how this originally started, was I had a yellow stack like this, and then I color coordinated off the rest of it. The 7-year slip, of course, is not the same height as the rest of them. So I'm going to stick her over here. See, this is where we run into things, because this is technically purple. I would rather have similar heights than group them by color. I think that if I get the other two Kings of Sin books, this will be perfect. I think everything else is pop culture cookbooks or fantasy. So I guess we're gonna start there. The decision we have to make is Taylor Swift going to phase out? I kind of think she said, because it sets the tone. When people are going on TikTok and they see my cowboy romances, my romances, and Taylor Swift, they know the vibes, and then I don't end up with men watching a lot of my videos. Your man who reads are totally welcome. I'm talking more of like the frat bro, all you read is romance, you're not even really reading type personality. I don't want on my page. So I do try to bring it up, because I love her. So, I don't know, I kind of think she needs to be here. But I do think that cowboy is going to expand. So I want to give her the time and grace and space to do that. But for right now, I think we need some pizzazz on this shelf because we just have upright books for 2 shelves. So I think Miss Taylor needs to come out. Everyone say hello to Taylor Swift. Front and center. All right. Then leads in to our pop culture situation. Amy Rallo, also releasing another book. I love her. I love her perspective on life, especially as like young mid-20s. We're gonna have like half pop culture, and then we're gonna go full fantasy on the rest of the shelf. Let's start with some things that don't have friends. And by friends, I mean I don't have the rest of the series. And sorting by height. So I have some paperback fantasy that I think might go with our spicy gals over on this lower shelf over here. Is they the same height? Or should Crescent City go right here? Let's put Crescent City there. We're missing one right now. She's at the bottom of the stack. But she can go right there. Perfect. I own every book Cassandra Clare has released except for a couple of recent releases. But most of them are at my parents' house. Cassandra Clare raised me. We love her. Perfect. Because like eventually we're gonna have Sarah J. Maas shelf. I own her books. They're just not here. So one day they'll make their way. And at that point I'm probably gonna need another shelf. So then we're gonna push my dear lovely husband who I love so much, we're gonna push his books over one, and then we'll have another chill shelf right there. And maybe, just maybe, he'll let me absorb Rebecca Yarros. Maybe. Our deal right now is because I technically gifted them to him. They live on his shelf, but they can live right next to me. Okay. See, Debbie Perry is a priority for me. So should she go over here to fill a gap? She doesn't really go, but we'll put her there for right now. Carissa Broadbent, my friend, I love her so much. See, this is where we're getting in trouble. I kind of want to have the fantasy favorites right here, or right here. I think right here. Let's do it. I think we just put them on a shelf and stop overthinking. How about that? Let's see what we've got. We have some Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is a paperback. Kind of got bent. That's totally a me problem. And then a hardcover. If something's really tall and doesn't really go with anyone else, they go against side. Ooh, pretty inside. So I haven't read that book yet. Lauren Roberts. See, they have friends, so they should go together. But they don't. They're not the same height. Down to the ground. Let's see. These are paperback situation because I really want like a fantasy favorites right here. But I'm kind of liking how Crescent City is looking next to Taylor. Don't really know why, but something about that. 1, 2, and is that the 3? Yeah. Okay. One thing about Cassandra Clare is she's gonna have a gorgeous cover. I think I have 5+ copies of City of Bones. At my parents' house. I've been a book collector since I was quite young. We're going by height right now for fantasy, and then I also own all of Twilight, of course. It's actually my mom's copies, like original copies. They're at my parents' house. Red Bones. These are all the same height. Yeah. Tall books, tall girls. I do think we're gonna keep that romance for right now. Perfect. Just kind of a tight squeeze, but that works for right now. Move along. Back up with her friends. This height difference is gonna make me crazy. It's gonna be okay. And then, yeah, these bottom shelves are decently empty. We do have room throughout, which is good because we're gonna rearrange. I lost a Lauren Roberts. Where'd she go? Lauren Roberts is gonna go right there. And then we'll Jennifer L. Armentrout it right there. Comes with Max. Yeah, I love her. And Spark the Everflames is gonna go over here. Then I'm like, can I put Powerful right there so we have white on white? Yeah, let's do that. Perfect. We've got our spicy gals right there. You can handle real spice. Sierra Smoke. I read a lot more fantasy than what I own. This isn't as representative. But this has been a very, very romance heavy year in 2025. So let's do a quick gloss over. Oh, Rose and Chains. She was sitting up on top of Crescent City. It's right there. Perfect. Let's go find the Carissa Broadbent book I'm missing. Caught her. Songbird and the Heart is Stone. There we go. I think that filled our gap too. Perfect. And then we have Christmas down right here, which these bottom shelves are mostly empty. It's almost half. Just under half of this one over here is empty, and this entire one is empty. I'm actually going to put my cookbooks down with my Christmas books. So why not? So, the Bread Bible. I'll show you my cookbooks if you care. Fiber Fueled. I'm actually borrowing this from my mom, so technically mine. How to Cook Everything by Mark Bittman. If you're going to get one cookbook, start here is my votes. Because I grew up with this cookbook being in my mom's house. She has a paperback version. It's quite old. And this is the hardcover that my grandmother-in-law, I guess you could call her, got me. This is the completely revised 20th anniversary edition. And I think my mom has like one of the first editions. But I love this cookbook. I pull from it all the time. I make a lot of our like standard recipes that I grew up with that I make now came out of that book. More Than Cake I got on recommendation, but I'm actually allergic to most of the recipes in here, so I don't know if I have to keep that. I might pass that along. And then I do have the Gilmore Girls official cookbook. That was a Christmas gift. And then Stars Hollow adult coloring book, which I actually should use more. And then this book that my dad made for me of special places in my life. Of course, I have it upside down and backwards. Kind of documents all the different places that we've lived and special places in my life. I'll show you. I'm not going to show you obviously the pictures of like the houses that I lived in, but some pictures, just like special places that I grew up in. So these are all pictures of me, and these are all pictures that like he took, I took, all of that. Put that on here as well. The city, New York City. It's the northeast of me, the city. Oh, and there we go. BookCon 2019 is right there. You can see it. That was the last BookCon that ever happened, and they're bringing it back in 2026, and Ethan and I will be there, military permitting. I will be there for sure. So if you're going to BookCon, let me know. I think these are going to go on my desk eventually, but for right now, we'll put them on. bottom shelf. And my camera's overheating. Yay me. Okay. Women's section, Intimate Thick / women's section. Loves and color coordination. Up here, cowboy romance / small town romance. Not every Elsie Silver book is a cowboy romance. Pop culture, Sarah J. Maas. Fantasy under her. Favorites. Some romance and priority TBR situations. Or the storage. I'm blocking my body. Fantasy, Christmas, miscellaneous cookbook situations. And that is that. And we'll give my husband his moment too. He has Rebecca Yarros. He reads a lot of fantasy and like horror. So here's his shelves. And that's that. That is step 1 of setting up my new home library. The bookshelves are set up. Will we do tweaking? 100%, and I will keep you posted. We'll probably see a lot of that in vlogs, honestly, because as I find things, unpacking the last remaining boxes, we'll add the decor. As new book releases come out, we'll rearrange. That's that. Let me know if any of the books I said I haven't read yet. I need to read as soon as possible, and I will move them on over to my priority shelves over here. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I try to post long form every single week, but I do post short form every single day on here, most of the time, multiple times a day, and I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day on TikTok and Instagram as well. If you want more bookish lifestyle content, I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.